yes, you beautiful, you crazy sons of bitches. Welcome into another edition of the Joe Raineri Show, brought to you by WagerTalk.com. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. Say it with me. Today is Thursday, so you guys know what Thursday means, right? It means it's time to make some damn money, and we are loaded, as you can see to my right, left. I'm not really sure, but you'll see. We've got the legend himself, Ralph Michaels from WagerTalk.com. He's going to join us here in just a couple of minutes. We're going to start talking about some of the games, not only tonight, but also huge slate of games, college football on Saturday, and, of course, you know how it is on NFL Sunday. So we're going to break down a whole bunch of those games for you. So bust out your number 2 pencil and get yourself ready to make some money. Also, our good friend, crazy SOB that he is, Adam Green from the crazy folks over at GetMoreSports.com. We love those guys. Anytime you got a Gronkowski family member involved in it, you know it's going to be crazy. Adam has actually got some thoughts on some of the stories that we've heard about this week, the Cleveland Browns, the Maryland coaching carousel there. Also, he's got some underdogs that he loves this week, so we'll get his thoughts on that. And then, of course, top of the hour, Matt Latusky. When it comes to daily fantasy sports, you should only turn to Matt Latusky, sportingnews.com. He is a fantasy god in this neck of the woods, and he's going to join us shortly after the top of next hour. So get ready for that. Looking forward to talking to him. Get yourself ready. I hope that you enjoyed your Halloween. How many of you feel like you want to throw up right now? How many of you? I went out last night. I bought all of this candy because I was anticipating all of these kids that would come to the door, and I was stuck. I was stuck last night with that bowl of candy, woofing it down myself because there was absolutely nobody that came to the door. So I feel like I feel like fat bastard right now, honestly. All I can taste is peanut butter and chocolate, and then I started diving into the Twizzler situation that was going on and all of this sugar rush. It was crazy, but it's good because I put on about 10 pounds and we had to bust out a different camera angle here today. So I hope you're happy and proud of yourself there, Halloween. But thank you very much for you guys stopping by, hanging out with us here today. Those of you lunatics, let's acknowledge them now. They are in the chat room, and we are happy to have them as always as we broadcast to you live streaming Twitter, Periscope, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. We've got all the lunatics, the usual guys that are in there. Mr. Dracula's in there. He's still 77. Jeremy over on Facebook. We want to welcome you guys in. Thank you very much for dropping by and making us a part of your day. We love Thursdays because we get to talk to the pros that know. And we tell you how many times here on the show that knowledge is power, right? It's all about knowledge. It's not about throwing enough shit against the wall and seeing what sticks. It's a matter of giving you guys the knowledge you need to make smart decisions when it comes to playing and betting on sports. And by the way, and I wanted to point this out, and I don't know if you guys had seen this, but this was this week. This was the headlines across many of the papers regarding the sports books and what they managed to do in the month of September in Vegas. Now, if anybody is going to try and sell you on the idea that somehow or another sports betting is not catching on, or that there is, nobody bets on sports and you're out of your mind. Yeah, no. More money was bet and lost at Nevada sports books in September than any other month since they began tracking the betting revenue reports in 1984. You're talking about Nevada books winning close to $57 million off of $571 million in bets made in the month of September. Both of those are all-time highs. That is crazy. In fact, the $56.3 million tops the previous record they had back in September of 2012. And that was also roughly around $53 million off of 571 bet. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. Now, we know football was probably the catalyst for this historic month of betting there, but man, oh man, those of you that don't think sports betting is here to stay, or that if you are worried about sports betting going somewhere, It's not going anywhere, and that is why we here on the Joe Raineri Show, we pride ourselves in bringing you guys the professionals. We pride ourselves in vetting and bringing guys on this show that you can trust what they say. Because I don't know if you have noticed, there's a lot of shit out on social media. I don't know if you guys have seen it. We've got a lot of those guys who claim that they have 80, 90% winners, that they are guaranteed to win you money. Listen, we've seen it all. And the more that we dive into this, the more crap there is, unfortunately, that you, the sports bettor, and whether you're somebody who's been doing it forever, or if you guys are watching us and going, you know what, I'd really be interested in diving into sports betting, maybe making the games a little bit more interesting, or maybe you happen to live in a state that is getting ready to legalize sports betting. It's kind of hard to navigate through the crap trying to figure out, who's the real deal and who's not. So we certainly pride ourselves here on the Joe Raineri Show with making sure that we bring you only the professionals, which is why we've partnered with wagertalk.com. I wouldn't go to anybody else. I wouldn't bring anybody else on except for the fine folks, the ladies, the men of wagertalk.com. If you haven't been there, guys, it is a site that you have to go to. Why? Because knowledge is power. And those guys have more spot-on free information when it comes to making intelligent decisions about sports bet. It's like anything else. Like, you wouldn't just, well, some of us would. I know those guys. But chances are that you wouldn't just take all your money and hand it to some tool bag and say, all right, bet on the stock market. Let me know how you do. We've seen that. We've seen how that works out in the past. We've seen the day trader situation. Very few people day trading really have the know-how or the understanding of the markets to truly be successful at it. It takes time. And one of the great things about sports betting and places like wagertalk.com is they give you the opportunity to deal with professionals, only the best of the best. And that's why I love those guys. And we are going to talk to one of those professionals coming up here in just a minute. Our good friend, Ralph Michaels. Awesome. College basketball is just around the corner. It happens to be one of Ralph's fortes, so to speak. It happens to be one of the things that Ralph is really, really, really over the years been passionate about. And he's going to have some information, and we're going to do a very special college basketball preview show for you coming up here in the next few days. Make sure you guys check that out. So we are about to be inundated with a whole lot of college basketball, and there is nobody better to kind of turn to than Ralph Michaels, and we're going to talk to him in just a minute about that. And again, I told you, if you're just joining us, happy Thursday. I know you're recovering from what was a crazy Halloween weekend, and if you feel like a fat slob, then join the crew. I'm definitely with you. If I eat another piece of chocolate or sugar, I'm going to go through the wall. But we do also want to say hello to our friends. Will is joining us here on Twitter and Periscope. It's good to see you, Will. Jeffrey on Facebook Live, thank you very much for stopping by. Count Dracula on Twitch, always a pleasure to see you. He's still 77, big Steelers fan, joining us via Twitch. You guys rock, and I know you love Thursdays because this is where we have an opportunity to make some money. And it gives us an opportunity to send a shout out to our good friends and some of our sponsors that make this all possible here for you, including the fine folks over at Miami Acura, who encourage you to stop by, take a test drive. It's the all-new 2019 RDX. It's at your disposal, guys. I'm telling you, it's like driving in your living room. The deals have never been better. All you have to do is get to Miami Acura, take it for a test drive, sit down, let them. It's practically like driving off the lot in a brand new house that you don't have to spend an awful lot of money for. It's that great a deal. You will love the car. It's completely redesigned. It's got every bell and whistle you could possibly imagine, all waiting for you. All you have to do is head out to Miami Acura. South Dixie Highway, Palmetto Bay. For those of you in the 305 and understand who Pitbull is, outside of the area, simply call them 855-564-46 4669. That is 855-564-4669. And coming up here in just about 30 minutes, we'll go ahead and bring our good friend Adam Green from GetMoreSports.com. But first, well, guys, it is that time of the week where we get to bring in the legend himself, Mr. Ralph Michaels, Cal Sports LV, part of the WagerTalk.com family. He joins us via the Miami Acura hotline. And Ralph, I got to tell you, it's been one hell of a week thus far. A couple of things I want to get out of the way. I want to get your thoughts on what you witnessed with the Cleveland Browns this week. And I know we're going to talk about some of the games here in just a minute, but your initial thoughts once you heard about Hugh Jackson and then Todd Haley being fired. What were your initial thoughts about what they're doing? Because I know you love Cleveland, man.
Yeah, well, again, I don't think he should have been back. I'm speaking about Hugh Jackson with coming off an 0-16 year, and, you know, you're drafting a quarterback, number one, and you're trying to have a new mindset. Getting rid of both is just it completely baffles me. You know, I've asked a lot of guys here that have followed the NFL longer than I have, and no one remembers ever a coach and a coordinator getting fired the same week. So, you know, you have Greg Williams, whose defense has been playing pretty well, now taking over the interim job. And, you know, Freddie Kitchens is the new OC. Well, Freddie Kitchens is brand new to the team. This is his first year as a Cleveland Brown assistant. He was on Arizona the last 10 years as a tight end coach, quarterback coach, running back coach. So it'll be interesting to see, and we don't know how it's going to play out. It's never happened before.
Yes, that is for sure. All right, how about tonight? We'll start in college football tonight. If you love punting and if you love teams to score no points, maybe Northern Illinois and Akron is the way to go. I believe this is the smallest under we've seen at 37 points to date. Is that correct?
This year, yes. I did a tweet earlier this year, and, you know, if you guys like the trends and angles and systems we talk about, make sure you're following me at Twitter, at Cal Sports LV. And the tweet today was, you know, an over-under total of 37 or 37.5 in college football. Well, again, that's the game tonight since 2010. So we have 8 full seasons. There's only been 13 games with a total of 37.5 or less. The lowest total in that span was back 2015. Vanderbilt and Missouri had a total of 34. But surprisingly, you know, I've talked about it on the show. When Vegas has a total that's higher than they've been or lower than they've been, you can many times find value because they don't go low enough or they don't go high enough. Well, those 13 games with a total of 37.5 or lower have gone 2, 10, and 1 over under. So that is an 83% play on the under despite that low total.
That's crazy. Yeah, if you like high scoring, this is probably not the game to watch. But, Ralph, there is a game tonight that a team can put up some points. the UCF Knights, Orlando, still not getting any love. They just came out with the college football rankings. And you tell me, Ralph, I mean, can we really, when it comes to the big dogs, and we're talking about the 4 best or most deserving in the country, can we really take UCF that seriously in this position?
Oh, God, no. They've played one of the lowest schedules in all of college football. And, you know, let's put it in perspective. You want to take the 4th or 5th best team in the country. I don't care who you're looking at the poll. Put them in a neutral field. Vegas probably makes them a 14-point favorite against UCF. That should tell you enough that they shouldn't be in the same conversation as this. As far as tonight's game goes, big question marks. The 2 most valuable players on the field tonight, Mackenzie Milton for UCF, a potential Heisman, missed last game against East Carolina. He's questionable. Armstead, the running back for Temple, who is just everything of their offense. They run him left, they run him right, they run him up the middle. He's missed the last 2 games. He's questionable. If both play, and I do expect both to play, reading what the newspaper said this morning and some sources I had, the line is right where I think I should be. If I had to make a lean, I would grab the Temple Owls, who are 13 16-6 ATS in the last 22 games with Jeff Collins. Again, he's a DC from Florida. He's got Temple's defense playing great. UCF playing with continued pressure on 20 straight wins. You know, they have that bullseye on their back every week, and it gets tougher and tougher as the season progresses.
It certainly does. Ralph Michaels joining us, wagertalk.com. Make sure you guys head over there. We're going to tell you here in just a couple of minutes, Ralph is, when it comes to college basketball, guys, I'm telling you right now, there is nobody better, and we're getting ready for a whole lot of college basketball coming your way, and we'll tell you how you can get ahead of the game coming up here with Ralph at wagertalk.com. But, Ralph, there's a few other games this Saturday in college football that certainly have intrigued me. I'll start with Pittsburgh taking on Virginia. I don't know that anybody saw Brocco Mendenhall there in Virginia being as good as they are or be in the position they are right now. But are we overvaluing them in this particular situation, laying 7.5 points against Pitt?
No, I am pleased with where they are. I think, you know, I've been a Mendenhall fan, and, you know, what he did with BYU and being, you know, having the Mormon connection, it was tough to recruit 5-star recruits, you know, and really since the Jim McMahon era, they haven't had one of those crazy standout players that a lot of these good players are. Now in the third season here, we've seen the progressions. There are 2 losses for Virginia on the road at Indiana. They only lost by 4. On the road at NC State, they only got outgained by 82 yards. They were -2 turnovers in that game. Pittsburgh, yes, they look good against Syracuse, putting up 44 points. Yes, they look good against Duke, putting up 54 points. The problem in those 2 games, they gave up 1,100 yards. And the Notre Dame game was sort of a flat spot. So while they only lost by 5, I don't give them that much credit. This is the same Pittsburgh team that went to UCF and lost by 41 points, went to North Carolina with all their players suspended and lost. Virginia's got a solid defense. I think they slowed down the Pitt game, and I like Bryce Perkins, what he's done. He's a very mobile quarterback, has rushed for 571 yards. I'm on the Cavaliers this week.
There you go. Cavaliers tonight. This weekend, rather. Sorry about that. I'm still trying to get over that whole Northern Illinois game with 37 points. But another one of these games here, Ralph Michaels joining us, wagertalk.com. Ralph, Northwestern Notre Dame. Notre Dame being obviously one of the best teams in the country. There's no doubt at this point, undefeated. But have they been slightly overrated? Should they be close to a double-digit favorite over Northwestern on the road?
No. That's simple. I think I'm a Northwestern backer this week, and I just think that they are overrated on the road. Northwestern is a solid home dog. You're going to have that rare home game for them. You have a situation where Northwestern is an automatic as a dog. The dog in Northwestern games are 8-0 this year, and Notre Dame is only 3-11 ATS after playing Navy. Now, I'm not a big proponent of backing a team after they faced a team, but with Navy, it's different. You've had to learn to cut block. Your knees and ankles got chop blocked the entire week against that Navy offensive line. It takes a while to get back into gear and face a different type physical defense. Northwestern just allowing 24 points per game. And Brian Kelly in November, you look at him over the last 4 years, 3 times, he's had a top 5 team going into November. Well, he hasn't finished in the top 10. He is 3-14 against the spread in November the last 4 years. I misspoke. I said Northwestern games, the dog 8-0. Make that Northwestern games 9-0. So if you play the dog in every Northwestern game, a perfect 9-0. They don't get margin on offense, but they don't turn the ball over. They keep the game close, and they have a great defense. I think the points are a bonus here, and an upset doesn't shock me at all.
Love that. Ralph Michaels, wagertalk.com, joining us via the Miami Acura hotline. And, Ralph, who would have known the matchup to decide the Southeastern Conference Eastern Division will probably happen this weekend when Kentucky takes on Georgia in Lexington. I got to tell you, Georgia doesn't surprise me, but Kentucky, my friend, this game, you're looking at Kentucky getting 8.5, over under 44.5. Is this a letdown spot for Georgia, or is Georgia back on track, ready to rock and roll this week?
You know, I don't think it's a letdown spot because they know the ramifications of this game, and they know it means the SEC East title. This is probably the biggest home game in Kentucky football history. And that concerns me a bit because these players aren't used to playing with them. Normally at the end of the year, they're trying to get a sixth win to get to a bowl game, and now they're playing in an entirely different scenario. This is a game where I would still lean with the under. Georgia's offense just doesn't seem to be able to pull those games away. Yes, they won by 19 against Florida. That was a very misleading game. That was a 1-point game at halftime, and they were +3 turnovers, which caused the difference. Vanderbilt and Tennessee, again, neither of those teams have a defense. Kentucky has a legitimate top 15 defense with a pair of NFL players on that. But again, when you have Terry Wilson as a quarterback for the Wildcats, who has a 5-6 ratio on the year, if Georgia does get to an early lead, it's gonna be a concern. So I'm looking at this game one of two ways. If you like Kentucky, you're going to play the under because it's going to be a low-scoring game. If you like Georgia and they pull away and Kentucky has to start throwing the ball and get away from their running game of Benny Snell, who's almost at 1,000 yards with 935, the game would go over the total. I am passing on the game itself, but I will be a fan and watching to see and hoping Kentucky can make the next step up. I always root for those teams that have struggled for so long to get to contention, but again, it's very difficult to get to contention and then win when you're in contention, which is what the situation is this week.
Yeah, that is the truth. There's a big difference. This is big boy football now, Kentucky. Let's see how they do. All right, Ralph, the game that everyone's going to be talking about, we'll end the college slate with that. Alabama, LSU. Maybe I should just ask this question, Ralph. What are the chances that Tua plays in the fourth quarter in this game?
Well, if he's healthy, he's going to be playing. I think this is going to be a snobber knocker. One of those low-scoring SEC games like we're used to with Alabama and LSU. We're used to seeing those 9-6 games, and and this very well could be another one. LSU. I mean, I'm very surprised they did what they did to Mississippi State. I'm very surprised with what they did to Georgia. They're home for a third straight game. And when I do my power ratings for a home field edge, I'm like a lot of people. A lot of people just say, well, it's a 3-point home edge. I go from 0-point home edge to some teams like UNLV to a 5.5 home edge. When LSU is playing at home at night, there is nothing like Death Valley. I give them a 6.5 home edge. Only those 8 o'clock night games, and being a home dog makes it extra special. The only other situation in college football where I give that big of a home edge is Penn State at night at a whiteout. It makes that much of a difference. So I think LSU's defense keeps them in this game. You have Tua banged up. You have Jalen Hurts not completely healthy. And Alabama has not been tested. If this game out of that first quarter is 7-7, these players are going to feel some pressure and be in a situation they have not been in all year. Every win's been a blowout. LSU, the whole game is going to be decided in the first quarter. If Bama gets out to a 14-0 lead, I think it's Bama, but I don't think they'll do that. I think it'll be close. LSU at home. LSU is a home dog with my number 6 defense in the country, and that's a situation that I'll take every day of the week.
I love that. Ralph Michaels, wagertalk.com. Before we tell the listeners and the viewers here, Ralph, how to take advantage of the wealth of knowledge that you have regarding college basketball, I did want to get your thoughts quickly on DJ Durkin. What surprised you more, that Maryland brought him back, or it took him as long as it did to actually realize we shouldn't bring him back and fired him?
I'm amazed he came back, number one. Number two, I'm more amazed that they brought him back, or they wanted to bring him back mid-season. You have a Maryland team that is off a 30-point win against Illinois. They crushed Rutgers by 27 points the week before. Their losses are to Temple at home, which was a game early, Michigan and Iowa on the road. Those aren't bad losses. The team was starting to make strides. You have a situation where you have a positive atmosphere. Then you try to bring them back midseason. What good does that do you to a Michigan State game? So bringing him back midseason surprised me. Obviously, once the players started walking out of the meeting, there was nothing they could do. He had lost the team, and you can't give a coach that lost a team and put him back in position of authority. They did that. It lasted 24 hours. He was there for one practice at 6 p.m. when practice ended. They decided to tell him he was fired. So, I think the players are going to feel sort of like the Missouri situation a few years. The players spoke up. They feel that their voice was heard. They have the coach that they want. And I think this game they're going to be somewhat distracted because of all that. But moving forward the next few weeks, I think it's actually going to give them positive momentum.
Okay, so don't necessarily fade Maryland in this particular situation. I'm wondering, and we'll get to this in a minute, I'm wondering if you feel the same way about the Cleveland Browns in their game against Kansas City. Is this one of those spots where just too much change, too much drama in the week for you not to fade Cleveland? But we'll talk about that in a minute. If you're just joining us, welcome in Ralph Michaels, WagerTalk.com, joining us. And Ralph, we are just, we're a little while away from getting inundated in college basketball, which happens to be one of your fortes, my friend. And for those of you that don't know, talk to us about what's available at wagertalk.com for those that love college basketball and want to pick your brain a little bit.
Well, I did a college basketball guide, and it's simply this. It's simply the steps that I take to do my power ratings to start the year. Well, when you're talking about a preseason guide in college basketball, it's important to know what a team did last year. So often people look at how many starters the team had back this year and make their judgment. Well, you have to look at how many starters the team had the year before, what type of schedule they played, what were their points per game and rebounds per game difference on the offense and defensive side, how high were they ranked. Did they make the tournament? You have all that information in there from last year. Then let's look at this year. I give you the last 3 years of stats. Not only stats, but I give you my offensive and defensive and tempo efficiency. There's such a wide swing in college basketball. A team like Virginia may shoot the ball 50 times, and a team like the Citadel up Temple may shoot the ball 100 times. Well, points per game doesn't mean much if you played a lot of fast tempo teams. And then when you look to this year, I have all 55 new head coaches. In one line, I'm going to tell you where those new head coaches came from, what position they had at what school, or what they did. Then we're going to talk about this year's recruiting rankings. It goes from 1 to about 185. There's 353 teams, but only 185 teams recruited a player strong enough to give them a grade. And then I have 3 independent sources without mine even being included as far as conference ranks or ranking from 1 to 153. So there's 143 games next Tuesday. That's crazy the way they started the schedule. This is the first time that's ever happened. But again, it'll get you ready to make that first step when you're betting games next Tuesday.
Yeah, make sure you guys head over wagertalk.com, head over to the Cal Sports LV page. You guys will see it. You'll have the opportunity. Also, make sure you guys look out here over the next couple of days. We'll have a very special college basketball preview show with Ralph Michaels. We'll give you an opportunity to pick his brain there. Let's talk some NFL here, Ralph. We get ready tonight, Thursday night football. I believe there's a high school quarterback playing, and then there's Derek Carr. I'm not sure what the hell's going on with this game, but all I know is last I checked, the Raiders are getting points, and they're going up against a quarterback that has never thrown a pass in the NFL. I can't figure it out, Ralph. What do you think tonight?
Well, that decision hasn't been finalized, but most likely that's the case. C.J. Beathard has had problems gripping the ball. He had an injury, and the coach, Kyle Shanahan, said if this game were Sunday, he would be able to play. So he's close. It's still going to be a game-time decision. If not, you're going to Mullins. Mullins is a quarterback who at Southern Miss broke all of Brett Favre's records, but he was a spread quarterback that took snaps out of the shotgun. Even this year in preseason, he struggled a bit to get snaps in the preseason. So, I'm with you that if this line, if it is Mullins and San Francisco is a favorite still, I would be on Oakland. One situation just blindly is Thursday night home teams off a loss have been very good. And in fact, they have covered 70% of the time in that role. So again, being at home on a short week benefits that team. You know, they were home. They made the short trip to Arizona. Being home on that Thursday game is a big benefit. But again, with the quarterback situation unstable, until we clearly know what it is, this is a game where I'd be waiting to bet by turning it on, watching the pregame, see who they tell you is going to take the first snaps, and get your bet in quickly.
And go from there. All right. Now, we did mention the Cleveland Browns. Total turmoil there over the last week. No more Hugh Jackson. No more offensive coordinator Todd Haley. You got a rookie quarterback that's going to be at home taking on the one of the highest-powered, best teams in the NFL, the Kansas City Chiefs. Ralph, is this a situation where too much drama, too much change too quickly, fade the Browns even though they're getting 8.5 points?
Yeah, you know, getting 8.5 points isn't going to be enough for me in this game. I'm not going to be on Kansas City either because I'm going to pass. You know, Kansas City has, you know, they went to New England, they lost the game, looked good. Denver, they came from behind to win. Pittsburgh, they came from behind to win. The Chargers, the opening week, they led at halftime and took over. But this is certainly a letdown situation from them, having just beaten Denver, knowing you control your division, knowing that you are right now ahead in the AFC. And when I look at the Browns, you know, again, not knowing what they're going to do on offense, you do know that Greg Williams, being the interim head coach, is going to be, I think, a little less risk-taking. Baker Mayfield has been sacked 17 times the last 4 games. He was sacked 5 times against Baltimore, 5 times against the Chargers, 5 times against Tampa Bay. That's a lot of hits on a young guy that, you know, he has an 8-6 ratio. He's starting to look more like a rookie a little bit with tougher defenses and teams scheming for him. But, you know, I've got an angle for you that this is a blind angle. This is just, you can use this in the NFL in every situation, every time this occurs. If you have a team that's a home dog, that's it, an 8-point home dog or more, like the Browns and the Bills this week. Those teams are 8-40 to the under. So that's an incredible record in the last 15 years, and more recently, they're 2-22 over under. So in the last 24 times, there's been a home dog of 8 points, 2 overs, 22 unders.
That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. See, that's the kind of information that you get when you head over to wagertalk.com. More importantly, when you head over to @CalSportsLV on Twitter, that's the kind of nuggets that you're looking for. You're always looking for an edge. We always talk about value and looking for an edge, and that's exactly what Ralph Michaels brings to the table. And Ralph, I got Miami Dolphins. Those 3 wins to start the season seem like a distant memory. Maybe the best part about this game against the Jets is the Jets are more banged up than the Dolphins are. We got another Brock Osweiler game going up against the rookie Sam Darnold. At least they're home. They're laying 3, the over-under 43.5. What do you make of this game? Is it kind of do or die for the Dolphins at this point?
Yeah, and, you know, to me, it's I don't want to back Miami, but I don't want to back the Jets even worse. So in that situation, I am by default saying I'm going to have a lean with Miami. You know, you just look at what the Jets have done on offense, and it's been non-existent. Again, you have another quarterback that wasn't ready to play, and he's put in that spot, and you've seen it with the offense struggling. Now, you know, the Bears have been up and down in defense, and we thought that Khalil Mack would be the big turnover, but, you know, he hasn't played quite to his potential. And the Jets still, if you look at the last 2 weeks, 263 yards, 207 yards. I don't think that's enough to get it done for him. Now playing a back-to-back road game, because of the situation, I think Miami is the play. And, you know, you look at Miami, a road game against Houston, we thought they would be a playoff team. A road game at Cincinnati, they're looking like they could potentially be a playoff team. A road game at New England, and then the road game they won at the Jets. Home games, Tennessee a win, Oakland a win, Chicago a win, Detroit the only loss. And why did they lose that Detroit game? Well, that was just because, you know, they allowed the defense allowed an incredible amount of rushing with a couple big plays.
Yes.
So because of that situation, I think Miami is clearly the better of the two sides.
Yeah, well, that's unfortunately for Jet fans, that's the reality of the situation. And then if you look at Green Bay Sunday night, Green Bay, New England, 6.5 points. New England laying it there. It opened up. The look ahead was 7 in this game. But the good news for Green Bay is they don't have to worry about a disgruntled running back taking a kickoff out of the end zone and then fumbling it. So that's in Green Bay's favor, isn't it, Ralph?
Yeah, again, there were some weird special teams plays last week. I mean, he's probably lucky that the Steelers did what they did, because that was the worst special teams gaffe. I mean, you get a safety and then you let the ball land 15 yards behind you, and there's 4 Browns players on it, and 3 Steelers players are 20 yards away from it looking at each other. So, yeah. Again, it's still not the worst gaffe of the week. But I look at Green Bay, and if I am going to get Aaron Rodgers with a 13-1 ratio with this many points, I'm going to take them. New England, when they've played better teams this year, Jacksonville on the road earlier this year was a loss. Kansas City was a last-minute win with a come from behind. The other teams they played have all losing records. Houston, Detroit, Miami, Indy, Buffalo. Those are horrible teams. Well, the surprising fact in this game, Green Bay is number 3 in the NFL, plus 71 yards per game.
Damn.
New England, despite their 6-2 record, New England is getting outgained on the season. That means they're a team closer to being a 3-5 team, let alone being a 6-2 winning team getting outgained. Those stats don't lie. I like Green Bay plus the points.
All right, and finally Monday night, Ralph, you got the Dallas Cowboys at home taking on the Titans. Cowboys 6.5-point favorites. I am not sure why the Cowboys are favored by 6.5 points to anybody, but they are at home. The Titans team has been all over the place this year, but I guess you can say the same thing about the Cowboys offense.
Now, I'm going to give you another stat that's going to make you say, wow, is that really true? But I also want to preface it by saying this. When I'm giving you these trends and team systems and angles, you never want to base a play just on that one angle. I'm making a point on a game. I'm giving you that angle as part of the reason I like a game. But just because you hear a trend, a system, or an angle, never base a play on it. Make sure it's a play you like and the angle pushes you over the edge, or more importantly, leaving a loser off the card. If you like the other side, but maybe not so much, and I gave you an angle against a team you liked, and it makes you not play the game at all, hey, when you take a loser off the board, you're saving over 1 unit. You're also saving the juice, so you're saving 1.1 unit, which is better to your bankroll than putting a winner on the board.
Yes.
Now, with that being said, the Dallas Cowboys, when they're a home favorite, off a straight-up an ATS loss. Last week they were at Washington. That game was right around pick'em. They lost the game, so they lost the game straight up, and they failed to cover that game. When they're a home favorite the week after not winning and covering, they're 1-16 against the spread. Normally you think, oh, they had a bad game, they're going to bounce back. That's not the Dallas Cowboys under Jason Garrett. 1-16 against in the spread. I also agree with you. Why is Dallas this big of a favorite? Well, we still have that Cowboys effect. The Dallas Cowboys, to me, besides the LA Chargers playing in their soccer stadium where they have more fans from the road team than a home team, Dallas Cowboys have the smallest home edge for me. They have a 1-point home edge because it's Jerry World, it's big, it's loud, they get other people, there's distractions. So I completely agree with you. I'm not a fan of Tennessee, but I'm certainly not a fan of a Dallas Cowboy team laying almost a touchdown.
Yeah, and I don't know, is Sean Lee going to be playing? Because he seems to be the linchpin of this team on whether or not they cover and they win. So what is the health? Do we know what the health of Sean Lee is?
He is expected back, and that's funny because we did a video at this at Wager Talk, and on that video I said exactly that. Sean Lee, to me, is probably one of the most valuable 3 defensive players in the league.
Yep.
When Dallas has Sean Lee calling the plays and setting the defense, they are an above-average defense. When Sean Lee is out, they are a bottom 10 defense. So I completely agree with that point. Anytime you're going to back the Cowboys, you want to make sure Sean Lee is playing. Even though he's playing in this situation, it's still a fact that I would fade the Cowboys being a large favorite.
Well, there you go. Listen, knowledge is power. We say it here all the time on the show. You're not going to get any more knowledge than with Ralph Michaels. So you visit him 2 places. Head over to Twitter. Make sure you follow him at CalSportsLV. Then head over to WagerTalk.com. All sorts of great free information there. Not to mention, download Ralph's guide, College Basketball. It is coming. Head over to the Cal Sports page there at WagerTalk.com. And then look for it. We're going to be hosting a very special college basketball edition, getting you ready for about a zillion games as college basketball gets ready to take over the world shortly. He is Ralph Michaels. Ralph, we appreciate your time as always, my friend. Look forward to talking to you again. Good luck this week. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.
You got it. Ralph Michaels, WagerTalk.com. Love Ralph, and thank him so very much for stopping by. Once again, guys, head over to WagerTalk.com. Nothing but free, amazing, great information. Knowledge is power, and that's what it's all about. So welcome in. If you're just joining us, big shout-out to the list of lunatics that are hanging out in our chat rooms here today. Twitter, Periscope, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, all at The Joe Raineri Show. Appreciate you guys as always. And it wouldn't be a Thursday night with the Raiders playing without big boy Vori coming in with his damn Raider, with his Raider love. Just, even the Raider fans, as much as they want to hate Gruden, and they end up hating him as soon as the game is over. And then they hate him right up until the point where almost kickoff, and then they are rooting the crap out of the Raiders, man. It is such a love-hate thing going on right now with Raider fans and Gruden. It's not even funny. But Vori joins us. He's hanging out with us on Facebook today in our Facebook chat room. So, Vori, big shout-out to you. I happen to like the Raiders tonight myself due to the fact that we've got nothing but – let me see what the latest line is. The latest line is it was Raiders +3, +3.5. It's actually down. There's been a lot of money coming in on the 49ers. Raiders are now +2.5. I don't know, and I just talking to Ralph, I'm not sure if we are looking at the high school quarterback coming in yet and going and taking snaps for the 49ers. I don't know if they actually ruled Beathard out. Vori, maybe you can check on that. I don't know if they've done that or not. I don't think they have. At least as of an hour ago, they haven't done it, which means that you're looking at a quarterback who has never, ever thrown a pass in a real NFL, Nick Mullins. Keep in mind, he's thrown a bunch of passes in preseason. Most of them got intercepted. This would be a hell of a game. Could you imagine Nathan Peterman against Nick Mullins, right? Would you want the defense in your daily fantasy? I would definitely want either defense that those two guys were playing with. But Mullins, I guess, what did he say? He went 31 of 43 for 396, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions in the preseason. And I don't know that they've gone ahead and announced that he for sure is the starter. But 2.5 right now, the Oakland Raiders. The over-under is 44. That's a pretty good bet, too. I do want to let you know that the game that is beyond, and we talked about this, was Ralph, the Northern Illinois-Akron game is down to 37. The over-under is 37 there. So that's also a bet that I am absolutely looking at, because if you are going to have balls enough, Vegas, to give me 37 points as an over-under, then you're damn right I'm going to bet it, because you're just tempting me and saying neither one of these teams is going to be able to score on each other. So you know what? I'm taking the damn bet. I see you, Vegas. I see what you're doing there with the bookmakers. So I'm taking under 37 all day long with the Northern Illinois-Akron game. I can't even believe I'm sitting here talking about Northern Illinois and Akron on a Thursday night, but I'm doing it because Vegas is forcing me to do it by giving me a 30. Could you imagine 37 over-under right now in this game? That is absolutely crazy, but I'm taking it. I'm taking the Raiders. I actually locked it in at +3, so I'm taking the Raiders, and I don't even care if C.J. Beathard plays or he doesn't play, because he's one hit away from being on the sideline, and it's the Nick Mullins era, so I'm okay with that. So I took the 3 points. It's not like they got to travel far. the Raiders. Okay, it's an hour drive down the 405 there, or the whatever that road is that they got to hide in there, and they're heading over to Santa Clara. So from Oakland to Santa Clara, not a big ride there, so it's not necessarily an away game as we would know it. So I'm not worried about that. I do like the Raiders' chances tonight, and I am rooting for punt after fumble after punt tonight. Northern Illinois and Akron, I don't want to see either one of you guys get a first down at all for the whole night, all right? I don't want to see any of them. Now, that's what I'm talking about. That is football. And speaking of football, we got ourselves a good guy coming up here. It's going to join us in just a couple of minutes. Adam Green from GetMoreSports.com. He is going to join us. We are going to talk a little football here. And if you guys haven't had a chance to head over to GetMoreSports.com, funny as hell. You got the Gronkowski brothers in there. Chris Sheridan. You got a whole list of some great guys that are very entertaining, very informative stuff. GetMoreSports.com. Make sure you guys head over and check that out. But Adam Green, he's got some underdogs that he likes this week, and he writes an article for them each and every week about some of the underdogs that he thinks are the best bets. So we're going to get those from him coming up. We also have Matt Latufsky, our fantasy god from sportingnews.com. He joins us each and every Thursday as well, coming up top of the hour, just about 6 or 7 minutes away from that. We're going to talk to him about some of the daily fantasy plays. What do we do now? We got all sorts of mixing and matching going on this week. We've got coaching firings. We got a new receiver in Dallas. Is he worth a flyer on? There's a whole lot of risky plays this weekend. But then again, there's an awful lot of solid plays, too, and we're going to go over that with Matt Latufsky from the Sporting News. He's going to join us here in just a couple of minutes. Vori, what are you saying to me, Vori? What is going on? Let's see what Vori's got to say. Vori's telling us that Todd Gurley can go to hell with that. Yeah, you're still on the whole Gurley thing, aren't you? Yeah, I know I know a few people that weren't altogether happy with his dropping down on the ball there and not scoring the touchdown, not allowing the Rams to cover, pissing off an awful lot of people holding Rams tickets last week. I get it. Listen, I appreciate his awareness to the game. Let me just say that. I appreciate that Todd Gurley, in a era of me, look at me, look at I. I mean, look at what Ty Montgomery did, in the game. Ty Montgomery made it all about himself, and Todd Gurley made it all about, let's just win this game, get the hell out of here. Let's not have to take another snap and, I don't know, something crazy happening like you lose Jared Goff or, Gurley blows a knee out. So I'm with it, man. You know what I mean? I'm okay with him doing it. But can we also be realistic here? Doesn't it make you wonder a little bit about whether or not the games are fixed? Sorry, didn't want to say that out loud. But doesn't it make you wonder about whether or not some of these games are, less than above board? I'm just throwing it out there for you. By the way, Miami Acura hotline up top, 855-WTF-2255. That's 855-983-2255. That is how you reach us here on the show. Adam Green, GetMoreSports.com, about 30 minutes away. Get ready for Matt Latufsky. Any stardom cinema questions for you. You guys can hit us up via the phone, 855-983-2255. Or if you're in the chat room already and you guys know where we're at Joe Raineri Show, Twitter, Periscope, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube Live, all of you guys that are hanging out in there right now, we appreciate you. We love you guys. By all means, post them up. We'll get to as many as we can with him over the next couple of minutes. But there are some interesting plays, to say the least, including one of these just came across here. So let me post this up and get your thoughts here, guys. Speaking of crap quarterbacks. How many interceptions will Nathan Peterman throw against the Bears this weekend? This is the latest, I believe, from Bovada. We're looking at over 1.5 and under 1.5, both at minus 120. So that's the question I've got to you lunatics hanging out here in the chat room. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think? Is it over 1.5 or under 1.5? That would be Nathan Peterman's interceptions against the Bears. Now, I'm not sure if Khalil Mack is taking another week off. If I was them, I don't think it's necessary to have to force him to come back anytime soon, although on the road in Buffalo, never an easy place to play. but I don't think they need to rush him back necessarily for this game. But it'll be interesting. Over 1.5 or under 1.5. Make sure that you guys chime in. Let me know what's going on there on who you think, because whoever you guys think by the time the show's over, I'm going to go ahead and place the bet. So over 1.5 or under 1.5. Tell me what you guys think. And Vori is just on fire here tonight. Let's see what he's got going on here now. He's still bitching and moaning about Gurley. Gurley, what did he go? 2 weeks ago against the Steelers and Bengals. The over was 50, and they landed on 49. Yeah, well, it does make you wonder, doesn't it? It certainly makes you wonder, Vori, especially if you're on the bad beat side. Not like something that you really, 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 really are happy about when you get your ass kicked because of stupid things like, a last-second interception, or, I don't know, the running back falling down on the ground and not scoring the touchdown when he had an opportunity. All right, coming up here in just 2 minutes, we'll go ahead, bring Matt Latufsky on, sportingnews.com. It'll be time for a little Stardom Situm, helping you with a little daily fantasy knowledge. But first, we just got to take a couple of minutes, guys, to thank our sponsors here on the show, including our good friends at Miami Acura. Make sure you call them or stop by in the 305. Take it for a test drive, that being the all-new 2019 RD X, completely redesigned. The damn car drives itself. It's like driving in your living room. It really is. You may actually say, you know what? Why am I paying rent? Like, why am I paying a mortgage? I'll just live in here. It is that nice. And the deals like we've never seen before. So make sure you head out to Miami Acura, South Dixie Highway, Palmetto Bay, for those of you who understand who Pitbull is, and you're in the 305. If you're outside of that and have no idea what the hell I'm talking about, just call them, 855-564-4669. That's how you reach them. That's 855-564-4669. And we want to thank our good friends at Miami Acura for supporting us. They support us, guys. We certainly hope that you will support them, as well as a few other of our sponsors, the fine folks at Low Cost Airlines and Superior Cruise and Travel. If you guys are planning on traveling anytime soon, might we make the suggestion that you call Low Cost Airlines or Superior Cruise and Travel and do your booking that way. Coming up, 2 minutes, Matt Latufsky, sportingnews.com. It's time for your daily fantasy push.
Where do you want to go on a vacation or honeymoon? The Caribbean, Europe, Hawaii, Mexico? How about Disney or a cruise? At Superior Cruise and Travel, we've got you covered. We'll assign you your own travel concierge. They'll help you design a custom vacation plan that you can't find online. And the service is completely free. You can't compare the value of this to any other online travel company. We can help you plan a custom vacation anywhere in the world. We even offer payment plans with no credit card required. Now you pay off your vacation on your time schedule. Call now and mention the promo code RADIO and save up to $500. Book your custom trip. Call Superior Cruise and Travel now and talk to one of the highest rated travel agencies in the country with a 5-star A+ online rating.
800-901-5536. 800-901-5536. 800-901-5536. That's 800-901-5536.
Were you scammed into signing a timeshare contract? And did you miss the part that said you have to pay for your great idea? Not only for the rest of your life, but when you're not here anymore, you get to pass this turkey onto your family for them to pay for the rest of their lives. Thanks, Dad. Don't burden your family down the road, and don't be stuck with expensive timeshare payments forever. Get out of your bad idea timeshare contract guaranteed, or pay nothing. Call Resort Release today and learn for free how their timeshare exit team can help you legally exit your timeshare contract. They've helped thousands of people, and they're A+ rated with a BBB. So if you feel scammed, get mad and get out of your expensive timeshare contract right now, guaranteed. Call NOW.
800-898-0816. 800-898-0816. 800-898-0816. That's 800-898-0816.
Back pain doesn't take vacations. It never celebrates holidays. It's on the job 24/7 to keep your life exactly where it is, in limbo. But it doesn't have to be that way, because Laser Spine Institute can help you take back your life from chronic neck and back pain. With a less than 1-inch incision, our minimally invasive procedures have provided relief to over 60,000 patients vacations with a 97% patient satisfaction rate. So get ready to stand tall and live the life you've imagined for yourself without pain. Are you or a loved one suffering from a bulging disc, herniated disc, spinal stenosis, pinched nerve, or degenerative disc disease? Call our spine care consultants now for a no-cost MRI review and to learn more. It's time to say goodbye to chronic neck and back pain. What have you got to lose? Laser Spine Institute, the leader in minimally invasive spine surgery.
Call 855-720-BACK. 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 That's 855-720-BACK.
Don't be such a pussy. Subscribe to the Say It With Me podcast with Joe Raineri on iTunes today.
Damn. You better do what she says here, fellas. Welcome in once again. Happy Thursday. It is the day after Halloween, so if you feel like a fat, obnoxious slob, join the club. Bought all of this damn candy because I thought trick-or-treaters were going to show up, and none of them showed up. So who do you think was stuck pounding, chocolates and Reese's Pieces and everything else last night? That would have been me. And I do want to say this also because it needs to be said here the day after Halloween. Let us not ever confuse red vines with Twizzlers. Okay, I'm just gonna say that. Those of you that ever say that red vine is a Twizzler and confuses and calls red vines Twizzlers, you're being very disrespectful to those of us who love Twizzlers. Red vines suck. They're not even close to being a Twizzler. I'm just saying if you're gonna do the licorice, then you're gonna do the Twizzlers and red vines. Yeah, no. Leave that for the people you don't like. Leave that crap in the candy dish like you had at your grandmother's house growing up. That was there for like every Christmas since the beginning of time. And then it got so humid that all that candy stuck together and it was in a bowl. And then sometimes you would just go over and you'd eat it because it was there, and why not? You weren't allowed to eat anything else, so you might as well go ahead and dive into the damn candy dish that has been there since 1978. So maybe it's just me, but that is what I'm talking about, man. Do not confuse Twizzlers for red vines. Two totally different things. Red vines suck. It's like candy corn. They're awful. Don't ever offer me candy corn on Halloween. That you offend me if you give out candy corn. Like, don't do it. All right? Get the good stuff. Get the Twizzlers. Get the kind of crap that you can't have every day. All right? The kids will love you and they won't egg your house. That's what I'm talking about. 855-983-2255. That is how you reach us here on the show. That is the Miami Acura hotline. Matt Latusky, sportingnews.com. He's going to join us here in just a couple of minutes. We are going to talk to him about your fantasy lineups. Also coming up, bottom of the hour here, Adam Green from GetMoreSports.com. We love Adam. He is an awful lot of fun. If you guys haven't had a chance to head over to that website, make sure you guys do, because it is hysterical, to say the least. Some really great articles there. Also, some great information at GetMoreSports.com. And Adam Green has got some, he's got some underdogs that he writes an underdog article each and every week, and he's been doing really, really well with it this year. So we're going to ask him who he likes in the underdog position this week, and we're going to see what he has to say. Came up with a few other things here, some bits of nugget of information that I wanted to throw out your way, and I use the word nugget on purpose because here are some numbers, some stats. Those of you who are stats people, those are you who just absolutely love diving into the overs and the unders and the trends. Well, there you go. You got the Nuggets right now. That's right. The Denver Nuggets are the best over-under team. Well, they're the best under team right now across the NFL, NBA, and NHL, followed by the Buffalo Bills, also under. And the Bills find themselves in another one of those interesting situations this weekend, right? Nathan Peterman at quarterback. And what are we looking at for a over-under in this particular game? Let me pull it up here. Buffalo Bills, Chicago Bears, under 37.5 in this game. Buffalo Bills are getting 10 now. That spread is under 10, but under 37.5. So can the Buffalo Bills continue that trend and give you an opportunity there. That's the Buffalo Bills, 6-2 so far with the under this year, followed by the Phoenix Coyotes, those of you who are following the NHL. The Celtics also have been not living up to expectations, although they have been doing pretty well in the under, 5-2 thus far. We know the Cowboys, they can't score. So that doesn't surprise me either. 5-2 right now. Dallas Cowboys, 71.4% covering on the under. What is the Cowboys? That's the Monday night game, right? The over-under in the Cowboys game is 40.5 right now. 40.5, but they do have Amari Cooper now. So is that going to go ahead and increase their ability to be able to score points? Not necessarily sure about that. But 40.5, and the Cowboys have been doing actually really, really, really well. They come in at number 5 as far as those best teams hitting the under in the NFL, NBA, NHL. You got the Magic there, 5-2, and the Redskins also 5-2 on this list. And if you look at the Redskins, we've got, let's see here, Washington is under 48.5 this weekend against the Falcons. Some people think this is going to be a shootout. You've got the Redskins a 1.5 favorite in that game, but the over-under 48.5, and Washington has been doing pretty damn well, 5-2 against the under so far. Seahawks, very underestimated. I told you about this late last week, guys. Do not sleep on the Seattle Seahawks. You got a very young and upcoming defense that has done very, very well, and Matt's telling me he's getting a busy signal, so that could be the problem there. So let me do this, Matt. Hold on 1 second. We'll go ahead and get him all squared away here. But the Seahawks, I told you guys about the Seahawks. Do not, and I repeat, do not sleep on the Seahawks, because I love the youth on that defense. They are getting a little healthier, and I do think Russell Wilson has been playing better than he has played in his entire career. Right now, he is really putting it together. They have somehow managed to figure out how to keep him upright, which is half the battle, is it not? They've managed to keep him upright. He's not getting sacked. He's actually running for yardage, which I think is also very, very important. He's getting first downs. He's got some receivers now. Let's face it here. Those receivers probably don't scare anybody, but Tyler Lockett and the gang, they've been doing damn well, haven't they? I mean, they have been doing really, really well for him, and I'm impressed with Seattle. I mean, the Rams, everyone's talking about the Rams, and nobody's talking about Seattle, but they still have one of the best home field advantages that we know about, don't we? And they've actually been doing really well covering the over. 5-2 right now is what we're looking at with them. That's 5-2. So let me look here. What is their number this weekend? Their number, Seattle, is... Where are you, Seattle? Seattle's off this weekend, aren't they? Yes, they are. The Seattle Seahawks are on the bye, I believe. Yes, Seattle is on the bye. So very impressed with what they've been able to do thus far this year, though. I can't say enough things about Seattle and the job Pete Carroll is doing. Certainly on a team that nobody's been giving any credit. They've managed to quietly start rattling off a whole bunch of wins, and Russell Wilson is doing better than anybody anticipated. And the Titans round out that 5-2. The Titans taking on the Cowboys. So when you have the Titans 5-2 and the Cowboys 5-2 on the under, and both of those two teams are playing this weekend, what do you think? Under is 40.5 in that game, the Monday night. Maybe the under might be to play. I'm just saying. Now, as far as the overs, we've got a different list for the overs. Why don't we go over that one? Look at this list. Toronto Raptors. I don't know why anybody is shocked that the Raptors are scoring at an unbelievable clip here. I think that's a little crazy that anybody is shocked with that. But they've been doing a fantastic job, that being the Toronto Raptors. They're 7-1 on the over. The Buccaneers. How about the Tampa Bay Bucks? Scoring nothing but points, and that really is an indictment of their defense, which has been horrific. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 85%, 6-1 against the over. 6-1 because they can't stop anybody. Steelers also been hitting the over, 5-2, doing a really good job with that, as is the Packers and the Lions. Packers 5-2, Lions 5-2, both doing a great job of the on the over. in their things. If we look at, and the Packers are taking on the Patriots this weekend, if we take a look at what the over-under in that game is, 56.5 for the Packers and the Patriots. The Steelers taking on the Ravens. That over-under is 47.5. That seems like a bit of a high number, but Pittsburgh's done pretty well on the over so far. And the Ravens defense, well, it was really good until they started playing teams that can actually score on them, and then it didn't work out all that well. Let's see here. We're still having a ringing once, then silence. Interesting. All right, so we're having a hard time getting Matt on the phone here. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to go ahead. We're going to try to reach out to Matt. We're going to see if we can't get him on here because we do have some stardom situm questions that we want to get to. So once again, bear with us. Technical difficulties, but we will get it. We'll go ahead and get Matt on the phone, but in the meantime, we do want to thank a few more of our sponsors on this edition of The Joe Raineri Show. We'll be back with Matt right after this.
Is better than cable TV. Why? Because you can save 45% on packages compared to your high-priced cable bill. Wow. Take those giant scissors out and cut the cable and save with Dish TV. Plus, you get a free DVR upgrade to record your favorite shows and free installation. And with Dish Anywhere, you can watch TV for free on your mobile device. Act fast. You can save hundreds of dollars. Does your cable company do that for you? I don't think so. Get all the best TV programming at your fingertips at a fraction of the price of cable TV. So say adios, arrivederci, goodbye to the high cable bill and save up to 45% on Dish TV packages today. These are limited time offers and can change at any time. Call fast. 800-293-0328. 800-293-0328. 800-293-0328. That's 800-293-0328.
Do you use the expensive blue or yellow pills to charge your sex life? Are you thinking about it? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pills deliver the exact same results for less than $3. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. And right now, radio callers will get 44 blue or yellow pills for $120 with free discreet shipping. You can save more than $700 off pharmacy prices. Charge your sex life now and save a ton of money. Call now and get your 44 pills and save over $700 and qualify for free shipping. Stop overpaying and call right now.
800-764-9168. 800-764-9168. 800-764-9168. That's 800-764-9168.
Greece is cheap.
But the airfare costs a fortune.
Paris?
Not much closer, and again, airfare...
What about Puerto Vallarta?
Let's face it, flying anywhere is just too expensive.
Wait, what's this? Low-cost airlines.
With one call to low-cost airlines, you'll drastically slash your travel costs. We're talking insanely low airline prices to any of your favorite destinations. Where would you like to go? London, Rome, Costa Rica, Australia?
Wow, that's cheap.
So why wait? Call now to learn how crazy cheap it is to fly anywhere in the U.S. or international. Our prices are so low, we can't publish them. The only way to get them is to call to instantly hear the most amazing best deals on airline travel. It's that easy. So call now and start packing.
800-761-1427. 800-761-1427. 800-761-1427. That's 800-761-1427.
All right.
Get ready to talk sports. It's the Say It With Me podcast. Now here's your host, Joe Raineri.
You know, technology is a wonderful thing when it works, so let me see if we can get Matt Latusky on from the sportingnews.com right now. Now, Matt, can you hear us, my friend? I'm guessing no, so hold on. How about that? How about now, Matt? Can you hear us now? How about now, Matt? Testing 1, 2. Matt? No, Matt Latusky? No, we just can't seem to get him on here. It's just, it's a brutal thing. And it would help if we had, let's see, Matt's tired. Let's say, tried a bunch of times. All right, hold on, Matt. Let's see what we got here. Let me go ahead and just shut all of this down here and see if we can't go ahead and redo this. So I apologize with you guys, honestly, if you're watching us. Isn't this live streaming great where you can just get your you can look like a complete idiot and not have a problem with it. But I think it's a computer issue. But we're gonna go ahead and try this one more time, Matt. Hold on, give us one chance. We're gonna go ahead and try this one more time. See if we can't get you on. So let's see here. We're logged in. We're good to go. Let's see this. Can we do it? Can we do it? Can it's dialing? No, it's not dialing. It's trying to dial. It's not dialing. All right. So Matt Lutovsky, unfortunately, my brother, my man, it's you gotta love technology when it works. So I'll tell you what we're going to do is we do happen to have Adam Green waiting for us. So why don't we go ahead? We'll see if we can bring on Adam Green here from GetMoreSports.com, because I do believe that we can get him online. So let's get him going. Yeah, I'm telling you, Vari, isn't it great? Yeah, just when you think everything is working smoothly, it doesn't. But we're going to go ahead and bring our good friends on there, Adam Green from GetMoreSports.com. I think we can get him on the phone, and then we'll see if we can't figure out what in the hell is going on with Matt Lutovsky and thesportingnews.com. So can we got Adam on? Oh, okay, good. Hey, guys. Well, always excited when we get a chance to talk to Adam Green from GetMoreSports.com. It truly is one of the most entertaining and insightful sites that you have access to all sorts of great information regarding the upcoming games, both in not only college football, but the NFL, across all the sports landscapes. And Adam joins us via the Miami Acura hotline. Adam, thanks for taking a couple of minutes out. I know you're a busy man. Thanks for coming by.
No problem, Joe. Anytime.
All right. Love you guys over at GetMoreSports.com because you always have just amazing opinions. Let me start, first and foremost, your initial thoughts with the power rankings or the college football playoff rankings this week. Any surprises? Did you look at it and go, man, that's pretty much what I expected?
No. It's kind of that. It's really Alabama's game. And everybody's just kind of playing along, and it's just kind of who they're going to throw into the sacrificial lamb here when it's time to go.
Do you feel that it's kind of rigged a little bit, Adam? I mean, do you think that even the people, the committee in there, they don't want to offend anybody, so they put out the top 10, but we all know, like, next week, certainly after the games this week, that is not going to look anything even remotely close to what it is right now.
Yeah, I mean, people are always going to complain and have controversy. There's nothing they can do. I mean, if they went to a 12-team bracket, people would complain it wasn't 16 teams. I mean, there's no solution there. But the good thing is, especially when you have like Alabama at 1, LSU at 4, that's going to solve itself. Before the season's over with. So, after that, I mean, there's just whatever happens. I'm the guy that's going to tell you that's going to be Alabama Clemson again, just like it was last year and the year after, and everybody else is just playing, for a T-shirt at this point.
Do you think, Adam Green joining us, GetMoreSports.com, Adam, I mean, do you think we're a team like UCF who's playing, Thursday night? Do you think a team like that goes undefeated? Will they ever have a shot at making a run at this, or is it always going to be the Blue Bloods?
I mean, they'll have to change conferences. I don't know. I'm not an expert on the rules on all that stuff. I mean, if they got in the ACC or somebody, and certainly they've got the resume to make a move if they wanted to make it. And if you're not in the Power 5, I don't see how you get in there. And nobody's going to buy that record when you're playing their opponents that they play. I mean, it doesn't matter how many national titles they claim they've won. You have to win it on the field, and you have to play real opponents. And not that they might have a game or two, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, you have to get in one. You have to be part of the game. You have to pay to play.
Yeah.
And you got to be in one of these conferences to get in there.
Amen, you do. Adam Green, GetMoreSports.com. What's more surprising to you, Adam, the fact that they reinstated Durkin at Maryland, or the fact it took them so long to just realize, yeah, we screwed the pooch here. He's got to go.
I'm not sure. I mean, after the whole Urban Meyer thing this offseason, nothing that happened at the Division I level in college football surprised me. 3 games for Meyer after all that. When you the greatest assistant coach in American history, Greg Schiano, on that staff, of course. If you know anything about Tennessee football over the last few years, he was supposed to be the greatest thing that ever happened in Tennessee, was going to drag the Vols out of mediocrity in the national contention. You've got that guy on staff. Why do you even worry about bringing Urban Meyer back? You've got it. Your problem solves itself. But no, there's so much. They wanted it to work with Dirk, and they wanted everybody just to kind of fall in line. And once the government got involved, once like the governor and the state legislature got involved, it was forced their hand. It's crazy that it takes those outside forces to force a college football program. And it's not like Maryland's not Alabama. This is not Nick Saban. This isn't even Urban Meyer. You know what I mean? This isn't somebody who's stacking up national title rings. I mean, what are you losing when you're losing DJ Durkin?
Amen.
At this point?
Amen.
I mean,
yeah. Why bring all that? Why bring all that scrutiny to your institution there, your university, if you don't have to? Again, unless that contract was so over the top but they're going to end up paying him anyway. So what the hell's the difference?
Yeah, really. And I mean, there were reports yesterday that there were players when they actually announced it to the players. There was one player, they didn't say who he was, literally skipped from happily skipped. From the meeting. Yeah. They were so excited that their head coach got fired. I mean, what a dumpster fire that had become. They're talking to Jordan McNair's roommate on TV, and he's crying.
Yeah.
Happy that Durkin's fired. I mean, this is such a. It was of all the dumb things, all the dumb problems to cause your program. I mean, this was a solvable problem 2 days ago. Nobody would have criticized Maryland for just firing Durkin,
and
instantly.
And moving on. But
so there was I don't see the upside. I don't see what they were thinking to bring it back. Where was the upside? It's like I said, it's not like, Urban Meyer has a track record. He's got a fistful of rings at Ohio State, at Florida. What does DJ Durkin have? Where is the incentive to keep this guy over just cutting bait and starting over?
Yeah, if I didn't know any better, you would think that maybe it's the higher-ups and the Cleveland Browns that are making those decisions, because speaking of dumpster fires, it does not get any more dumpster fire-ish than what's going on with Cleveland, who not only this week managed to fire their head coach, but decided, you know what, offensive coordinator, you've got to go too, and here's your rookie quarterback, Baker Mayfield, going, okay, guys, we got a game this week. You didn't even wait till the bye. You shit-canned everybody at the same time, and they've got to go out and play, of all teams, the Kansas City Chiefs this weekend. What was your initial reaction when you heard what was going on in Cleveland this week?
Well, the first thing anybody should have done was start, laying money on that. It was 8 points with Kansas City. I mean, is there any chance Kansas City doesn't cover 8 points against the Browns this week? So that's thought number one. Number two, Greg Williams to me is, I would not hire him to mop the floor at a Denny's bathroom. He is not somebody that I would want, in my room. When Jeff Fisher got fired in L.A., Greg Williams was the defensive coordinator there. They didn't name Greg Williams the interim head coach. They named the special teams coach, John Fossil. That's how poorly a job Greg Williams had done. And I don't know if you saw this yesterday. Greg Williams, he was talking about how he's been offered all these head coaching jobs all over the NFL. Some of them he just had to show up and sign the contract, not even interview. He's that huge of a coach. And I'm like, why the hell would you choose the Browns then? What head coaching job is worse than defensive coordinator under Hugh Jackson with the Cleveland Browns? And this is what, he didn't come in with Hugh. He was Hugh's second year hire. So it's just, he is just a despicable sack of shit, frankly. And I don't, Cleveland, the best thing possible obviously already happened with Hugh Jackson getting fired. The second best thing possible is when Greg Williams gets, loaded up in the catapult and sent over the wall. And hopefully for their sake that when Jeff Fisher does call Jimmy Haslam, which he already has, he hangs that phone up immediately.
Yeah, that would be the smartest thing in the world to do. But listen, hopefully they'll get it figured out. They got a lot of pieces there in Cleveland. This could very well be a pretty good team moving forward. But we all know this in the NFL. If you don't start with, you don't get a head coach in there, and maybe they go out get Lincoln Riley at Oklahoma and go out and get his college coach. That might be just throw enough money at him where he'll leave one of the top 5 best jobs in college football in Oklahoma, where he can win 95% of his games, throw enough money at him. But anything outside of that, Greg Williams is definitely not going to be the long-term answer in there. Adam Green joining us, getmoresports.com. Definitely encourage you guys to make sure that you visit the website and make sure that you check out the articles. Some of the funniest, most informative articles that you will get are at this website here. Now, talk to us, Adam. You've got one of your great articles on the site, getmoresports.com. One of the best things that you got there is your underdog picks of the week in the NFL. So talk to us about some of the underdogs that you like this weekend.
Well, tonight's game is maybe the best one of all, because as far as I understand, as of right now, C.J. Beathard's not even going to start. Nick Mullins is going to start for San Francisco. And this is already one of the worst teams in the league as far as turnover margin. They were minus 13 coming into this game. Beathard's thrown 10 picks this season. And now they're going to their number 3 quarterback. I mean, that's insane.
That's rich. That is rich. And I do believe Oakland is +3 right now. Last I checked, it was about an hour ago.
And they're, as much as John Gruden has tried to remove the talent from that team, there's still talent there.
Yes.
There's still guys that can play. I mean, you certainly would take Derek Carr over Nick Mullen. I mean, who is he, from Canada? I don't even know where the guy played college football. I mean, there's
Mississippi
only
Southern, I think, right?
Only 4 divisions of college football, and I have no idea who he played for. So
Mississippi Southern, or Southern Miss, I believe. I think Southern Miss is where he went.
Okay.
Yeah. So exactly, I'm shocked that you missed that.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's I can't believe that the 49ers are still favored with that being out there, and supposedly it's a game time decision. But even if Beathard does play, I mean, they're 1-7. He's a fumble waiting to happen or a pick waiting to happen. This is kind of a lost season for the 49ers. Oakland too, but I feel like there is an advantage there when the number 3 quarterback takes the field. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Yep. A lot of truth to that, man. I don't think you're gonna get anybody arguing.
Yeah.
I do expect this line probably to be a pick 'em by the time of kickoff. But I know one of the other games that you have listed at getmoresports.com. Adam Green joining us. He puts together a great article every week, features a couple of the underdogs that he likes the best in the NFL. And I don't even know if you can consider him an underdog, Adam. But you've got the Rams heading to New Orleans, taking on Drew Brees and the Saints. And this is also one of the games that you have circled. The Saints. Possible, or the Rams possibly an underdog?
Yeah, and I was kind of surprised when this line came out that they were. I mean, it almost should have been a pick 'em, I would think, coming in. And it's like the odds makers are trying to pick the loss that the Rams are going to have. And this is, certainly, a conceivable one. The reason I like the Rams in this game is because they won last week, and so did the Saints. So this one becomes a battle for NFC supremacy. This is home field advantage, possibly, in this game. So the importance that it has, because both teams won last week, are amplified. And I just feel like they're going to be up for it. And the Rams kind of laid their egg in that first half last week against Green Bay. So, this is one of those kind of gut feeling more than anything. But I just feel like this isn't the loss that the Rams are going to have. It's probably going to be the Chiefs in a couple of weeks in Mexico City.
And one of the final games you got on there, Atlanta Falcons, Washington Redskins. Redskins now take a commanding lead in the NFC East. Falcons still trying to figure out if they can find anybody healthy enough to play defense. And who do you like in this one?
Well, I like Atlanta. If you look at Atlanta after the bye over the last 2 years, Super Bowl year, and of course last year I think they finished 10-6. They've gone like 6-2 and 7-2 after the bye, both seasons. And both seasons they started, the same way. This, 3-4, 4-4. And they've turned it on to the second half of the season. The offensive talent is still there. Matt Ryan's still there. Sarkisian's actually kind of learned how to call an NFL offense a little bit. And the Redskins, I mean, they're 5-2, but if that NFC East wasn't garbage, they're probably a 2-5, 3-4 talent level team. So, and the fact is, Dan Quinn and that Falcons coaching staff, they've had an extra week to prepare for this. And if Dan Quinn can't outcoach Jay Gruden with an extra week's preparation, the Falcons should fire him Monday morning.
I love that.
I mean, that is just all there is to it.
I love that. All right, Adam Green, before we let you go, real quick, you got to pick a winner, all right? You got a life depends on it. Alabama, LSU, all right? Does LSU, give me a percentage on the how much of a chance do you give them to actually pull this off against Alabama at home?
I mean, maybe 10%. I really think LSU's overperformed this year. I mean, and that's great. I mean, it's not, it's certainly a good thing for, Orgeron and their coaching staff and their players. But I mean, this did not look like a 7-1 team when it opened the season. And I think, Alabama is that team that makes reality land on your head really quick. So, I mean, I would say Alabama about a 90% chance. So much would have to go wrong. And it's not even like Tua getting knocked out because you still got Hurts coming off the bench. It's not like, these things that, think, well, if our quarterback goes down, we're going to lose this game. If their quarterback goes down, then they just go to a different style of offense with another good quarterback.
I think the better bet is, does Tua play in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, that is very interesting, and it's all about how hard LSU plays. I mean, they're going to bring it. I mean, everybody's going to try to give Alabama their best shot, and certainly LSU has probably feels like they've got a better shot than anybody. But I mean, realistically, I mean, this is probably, I mean, as loaded as Alabama has ever been. This is probably because of that quarterback, because that's what they've not had, is that kind of pro style, pinpoint accurate quarterback. This is probably the best Alabama team, probably in the last 10, 15 years. And I just don't think anybody's going to stop them.
It's going to be very, very difficult, but it's going to be a fun weekend in the world of sports, NFL, college, and if you guys want to have a lot of fun, make sure you head over to getmoresports.com. Just some great stuff. Make sure you search out Adam Green, his list of underdogs, and don't forget, early on in the week, man, he recaps all the worst bad beats in the history of the sports. He makes you feel so much worse about losing your ass over the weekend. It really is. It's a skill, folks. It's not easy, but he is fantastic. Yeah. Adam Green, make sure you check him out. And Adam, thanks again for stopping by, hanging out with us, man. Enjoy the games this weekend, and we'll do this again soon.
All right. Thanks, Joe. You too.
All right, Adam Green there. Make sure you guys check him out, getmoresports.com. And now, with any luck, I'm hoping we've got Matt Latusky from sportingnews.com on the Miami Acura hotline. Is that correct, Matt? And that would be yes, no? Are you there, Matty? How about now, Matt? Any luck now? And no, we still don't have him on the phone, huh? That's good stuff over there. I love you guys did a great job on trying to figure that out here. Nothing there, Matt? No, anything? Let me see. How about now, Matt? Anything? Nothing. All right, so we've got nothing. So unfortunately, it looks like we don't have Matt Latusky, but we had Adam Green, and I'm going to have to apologize to Matt because we can't seem to figure out exactly what the hell is wrong here. But Matt, we certainly do appreciate your efforts to try and come on the show here, but unfortunately, it didn't work out. Maybe we can get you on tomorrow there. That would be awesome, but unfortunately, we just can't seem to get anything to work here. But do want to thank Adam Green from GetMoreSports.com, and of course, our good friend Ralph Michaels, WagerTalk.com. Want to thank him very much for coming by. Also, if you missed any of what Ralph had to say or what Adam had to say, make sure that you guys, as soon as we're done here, you'll have access to it. Make sure that you guys log on. Check it out, man. It's here on Periscope. It's on Twitter. It's on Facebook. It lives on Twitch. It lives on YouTube. It lives across the board. Some great information, not only about tonight's games, but also on what's happening this weekend in the world of sports, both college football and the NFL. Tomorrow, big show going on tomorrow. It's Breeders' Cup. It's time to talk about the ponies. We've got the legendary handicapper, Benny the Boot from the Palm Beach Kennel Club. He's going to show up, and we're going to talk to him about what's going on with the Breeders' Cup. Plenty of money to be made over the weekend with the ponies. That is for sure. And Ralph Michaels will also join us. We're going to do a college basketball preview for you. That is the kind of information you do not want to miss out on. Ralph Michaels is guys, when it comes to college basketball, you're talking right in Ralph Michaels' wheelhouse. It's what he's been doing for 30-some-odd years, so you don't want to miss that. Keep it here. If you haven't done so, please like, subscribe, retweet, follow us, do all of that good stuff across all of these platforms, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope. We thank you guys so very much. Vori, I know what you're talking about, man. Go Raiders tonight. Raiders up 2.5, I believe, is the spread there right now. I'm also going Northern Illinois, Akron, for neither team to get a first down or score a point. I think it's going to be a safety, and it's going to be 2-0. The over-under is 37 in that game. I've got the under because Vegas forces me to take the under when you give me 37 points as a total. So that's where we're at. But check out what Ralph said. Check out what Adam said. If you missed any of it, it's here for you guys. It lives on all of these channels for you to be able to get the knowledge that you need. Make sure you head over to wagertalk.com as well. Not only Ralph, but you've got access to a dozen other of the best sports handicappers around. We told you here on the Joe Raineri Show, it's all about bringing you the quality because there's a lot of crap that you've got to navigate through on social media. Everybody's a winner. Everybody's got 90%. Everybody's going to make you a millionaire. Yeah, I can promise you there won't be one person we bring on this show that tells you he's going to make you a millionaire. But if you listen to what they say and you listen to why they're saying it, then chances are you've got a pretty good shot at making more money than you're actually risking when you're betting on sports. So keep it here. We appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ralph. Thank you, Adam. Matt Latusky, I apologize, but hopefully we're going to be able to get him on tomorrow. You guys have a great night. Thank you so very much. Come back and join us tomorrow, 4 o'clock. Breeders' Cup. We're talking ponies. We're talking college basketball. Big day tomorrow. Enjoy the games tonight. We'll talk to you again then. Have a great night, guys.